see it all around in this big old world, 'cause love is shining through. From a baby smile to a new sunrise, so I'm here to tell you, hey, now turn it up, we're gonna rock this place with the way we love. Hey, now shout it out, we're gonna show everybody what it's all about. There's one thing this world can't live without. It's all about love. Yeah, love. Yeah, love. It's all about love. Yeah, love. Yeah, love.
I said there ain't no power greater than love. Just one thing I know, God's love's been here since the start of time, follows us wherever we go. I see it all around in this big old world, God's love is shining through. He proved it on the cross that day, so I'm here to tell you, yeah.
Hey, now turn it up, we're gonna rock this place with the way we love. Hey, now shout it out, we're gonna show everybody what it's all about. There's one thing this world can't live without. It's all about love. Yeah, love. Yeah, love. It's all about love. Yeah, love. Yeah, love.
Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love, 'cause love is free. Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love, 'cause love is free. Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love, 'cause love is free. Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love is free.
Hey, now turn it up, we're gonna rock this place with the way we love. Hey, now shout it out, we're gonna show everybody what it's all about. There's one thing this world can't live without. Hey, now turn it up, we're gonna rock this place with the way we love. Hey, now shout it out, we're gonna show everybody what it's all about. There's one thing this world can't live without. It's all about love. Yeah, love. Yeah, love. It's all about love. Yeah, love. Yeah, love.
Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love, 'cause love is free. Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love, 'cause love is free. Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love, 'cause love is free. Love is all we need, yeah, you gotta believe. Everybody love, 'cause love is free. 'Cause love is free. Love is free. Love is free.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verses 24 through 34.
When Abraham's son Isaac grew up, he married a girl named Rebecca. But it didn't seem as though they'd be able to have children.
Please, God, give us children.
But God answered Isaac's prayers, and Rebecca became pregnant with twins.
Isaac, I'm pretty sure they're having a wrestling match in here.
Oh, definitely boys.
Rebecca asked God about the struggle she could feel. He told her,
2 nations are in your body. One nation will be stronger than the other. The older son will serve the younger one.
when it was time for the babies to be born, they came out fighting. Esau was born first. He came out with a strong set of lungs and a head full of red hair. His brother Jacob was born moments later, still holding on to Esau's heel.
How on earth did he manage that?
The brothers shared the same birthday, but as they grew, that was about the only thing they had in common. Esau loved to roam far out into the wilderness.
I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more.
Jacob preferred the comforts of home.
The sun is so hot. I'll just take a little nap in the tent.
Esau loved to hunt wild animals.
That is one excellent wildebeest.
Jacob preferred a different type of hunting.
Not you, not you. Ha! The perfect ripe honeydew melon.
One fine morning, Esau headed out into the wilds in search of adventure and some nice, juicy venison.
I'll feast tonight.
But Esau went all morning without spotting a single rabbit.
Ugh, should have packed a lunch.
In the afternoon, he tracked a deer for hours, but he missed his chance as the deer sprang away.
Ah!
At last, Esau headed for home, defeated. He was tired and irritated and so hungry he could eat an entire woolly mammoth.
Must eat food.
As Esau neared camp, a delicious smell wafted out to greet him.
Food!
Jacob had been home all day, resting and plucking his favorite herbs from his garden.
A little coriander, some dill.
As evening approached, Jacob used his savory herbs to whip up a tasty red lentil stew and a batch of fresh, buttery bread.
This will crisp up nicely on the hot stones.
By the time Esau had arrived in camp, Jacob's stew was simmered to perfection, and the bread was hot and crusty.
Food! Food!
Esau lunged for the stew cauldron, ready to grab a bowl, but Jacob blocked his path.
Not so fast.
Step aside, I'm hungry.
Clearly.
Just let me have some of that red stew.
Certainly.
Esau tried to dive for the stew pot again.
Just one itty-bitty thing.
What?
Well, first, give me the rights that belong to you as the oldest son.
Esau spent more time listening to his stomach than his brain. So in that moment, his stomach won out.
Look, I'm dying of hunger. If I die, those rights are pointless anyway. Now give me that stew.
Esau sprang forward once more.
Promise to give me your rights.
Fine.
Fine what?
Fine, I promise.
Promise what?
I promise to give you my rights as the oldest.
Cool. Help yourself.
Jacob stepped aside as Esau hurled himself at the stew pot.
Stew!
Esau happily gorged himself on rich stew and fresh bread. But as his stomach filled up, he had time to stop and think again. Esau had just traded the rights of a lifetime for a meal that would only last him a few hours.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child child of God. Yes, I